springen wir zurück hin und fahren wir das Jahr 20.
Thank you, Erik. Thank you for being our guest. And how can you describe your everyday job? How do you live the apparently different commitments you are taking care of?
Yeah, I mean, my work here is also a result from the fact that during my daily work, I work in a company, it's my own company, and there I do work as an art director, designer. So I work already a lot with other people's images during my daily work. And since 20 years I got more and more interested by photographs of the mundane and the everyday life. Also because there's often quite a lot of mistakes and done by amateurs. And I like these kind of mistakes because in advertising and design you see often very perfect images. And in this case I am embracing stories that I find by amateurs that without them knowing they have made like a beautiful series together. And also in these works, in this exhibition, I am very much interested in the stories behind sometimes very ordinary photographs.
Yes, among publishing activities there are two big tracks. In almost every picture and useful photography, one more personal project and one share with others. Could you briefly describe them?
Yeah, like since 2001 I made this series of books called In Almost Every Picture, and they are basically based around series that I find either on the internet or on flea markets, or I hear from people and then I approach them, but they are mostly done by amateurs. Yeah, like a series of photographs with a certain narrative and always with a certain story, surprising story behind it. And that is then, they are based in that series of books called In Almost Every Picture. And the use of photography is more a semi-professional series of photographs that are used for a certain purpose in our society, or either to find a person that is missing, or to document cows, or to photographs before and after, or the last book we made is like people that take pictures next to their penis to show the size of it, all for a certain useful purpose. And yeah, so these are two side tracks that I have, and where I kind of elevate pictures from its original context in a new context, and I ask people to look at it in a way, in a different way.
One of your focus, as you told us, is related to the so-called vernacular photography. How did you develop this interest in found photos? Did you realize which are the elements that are attracting you the most?
Yeah, my interest in vernacular photographs have often to do with the fact that, for instance, an amateur is very much willing to make a mistake and to make, yeah, like there is no pressure that a professional sometimes feels. Like even professional photographers or artist photographers that show their work in a museum, yeah, they have a certain skill and they have a certain pressure to make like perfect work and to make outstanding work. With these amateurs, there is not that pressure. And for instance, there's a book that I made where a family was trying to photograph their black dog for many, many years, and it totally failed all the years, which makes it very funny because the black dog is like one big black phantom on the images. But it's very funny, but it's also a bit tragical, and yeah, like you see the attempt of the people to really photograph that dog. In the end, they also managed to do it because they overexposed the camera, so then the photograph is very bleached out, and you see like finally for the first time the character of the dog. And yeah, that is something I am interested in, because I think also today on the internet many photographs that we take, because we live in a democratic age of photography, they are copied, and systems of photographs are redone many times. But in this case, it's just like a very personal view of somebody that is free to kind of make these mistakes.
While we are talking, let's say millions of photos are posted in internet, in social network we visit, could you suggest us how to become a photo observer and consequently a reality observer instead of just being a photo consumer, as you indicated, quoting the current and diffused lack of attention?
I think one way to be more aware of a photograph is the simple thing, you could just put away your camera, don't take pictures anymore, because there are so many pictures still available that haven't been looked at or that haven't been used, that simply using your eyes as a camera is something very interesting as well. You don't need the machine to make something good, because you can also use your eyes and find something good and then look at it better, try to find the story behind it, take it from its original context, show it in another context, and then that is also a way of looking at things, because we are slowly we are becoming more editors instead of authors. And so because being an editor means that, I mean, nowadays with so many images around us, I mean, we see more images before lunch nowadays than somebody in the 18th century saw in his whole lifetime. So this does something to our brain, and it's almost a process thing and a development. So we become more editors, species of editors almost, because we have to decide like what to see, what to hear, what to read. You know, we really, otherwise we become crazy, we explode, and this is some interesting development.
And about mistakes and about failed it, and your book about the art of making mistakes and to learn from them, maybe it is also a guide to face properly a very competitive world. So mistake can be fuel for creativity.
Yeah, definitely at the moment in the creative industry, in art, fashion, design, we have the best tools we ever had. I mean, on our iPhones there's such a good camera that we almost need an application to destroy our own images or to make them look more authentic. So this, I mean, and also the computers, the navigation systems, everything is perfect, and we can make everything we like to make with 3D printers. But the question is, like, what are we now going to make? Because everything is there, and often this perfection is not a really good starting point for creativity. I mean, a mistake or an error, or that is an interesting starting point for a mistake, because it will bring you to something else. I mean, metaphorically, when you follow your navigation system, whatever happens, you will end up where you want to be. But if you take a side street and the navigation system gets crazy and tells you go back, but if you go in the wrong direction, you maybe find something new. And that is something I think that people need to embrace nowadays, because perfection is not a way forward, it's just like an end result. I mean, when you find a new idea, you can use the tools and make it perfect, but perfection is not a starting point for a good new idea.
Thank you, Erik. Thank you very much.
Okay, pleasure.